Pokemon 151 is probably one of, if not the best set in the Scarlet and Violet era. Of course, everyone's got their favorites for different reasons. And for me, I would say 151, I keep calling it like the modern day base set of this modern generation. And I kind of feel like it is in some respects. It's all 151, all the OGs. If you're like me and you like Gen 1 and the OGs, this is just a huge nostalgia set. Artwork's incredible. It's outperforming pretty much every single set in the Scarlet and Violet era, and I think it's going to go from strength to strength to strength going into 2026 and the future. I think a lot of people are going to look back on this, right? A lot of people are going to look back on 151, and if they weren't a part of 151 when it came out, let's say they joined this year or they joined next year or so on and so forth, they'll find out about 151 and they'll be like, holy smokes, I want a piece of that, right? Just because it's just pure nostalgia. It is pure nostalgia. And I think it also like brings in the younger generation as well to enjoy what we enjoyed when we opened up base set, when we opened up jungle, we opened up fossil, and those type of sets. So for me, I think it's very, very cool. And, you know, it's just done so well. So today we'll be looking at all things 151. I'll be going through why I think this is the set of the Scarlet and Violet era. Get into it. Okay, so first things first, we've got to start off with the sealed product. We're looking at the 151 normal ETB, and we'll be looking through some of the others as well to give you guys an idea of what has been going on regarding 151. Of course, this is on TCG Player over in the US. It's goddamn expensive. There's no way to sugarcoat it. So we're looking at $400 for a 151 ETB for the regular ETB. And look, I mean, it's gone up 30% over the past 3 months. It's very, very expensive. This set, it came out in 2023. So we're looking at about 2 years for this set. And it was like a $50, $55 ETB. You could find it everywhere at the time. And now we're looking at a $400 ETB. So from the release of the set at $55, $50, and we're now looking at 400. It's just ridiculous. It is absolutely bonkers. And the thing is this was everywhere. Right, back in 2023, you could have walked into anywhere and you could pick up as much as 151 as you liked, and it wouldn't even make a difference. If this came out this year, it would come out at $400. It would be that ridiculous. So yeah, if you weren't here back in 2023, we did have it good. That was when Pokemon was actually a lot more accessible, a lot more fun, a lot more affordable. But yeah, now it's not really the case. But hey, it's going to do well, and I think it's going to do well in the future. It's just so good. Then we've got the Pokemon Center version. This one would kind of blew my mind a little bit. We're looking at nearly $1,000. Looking over the past year, this thing gone up 326%. What the hell, right? Already said that the normal one was like 50. If you bought this on the Pokemon Center for 55, and it's now nearly $1,000. Wait, what? Do you know what I mean? Like, what the hell? So yeah, this is just pure insanity. Where is the ceiling for this? You know what I mean? Like, where is the ceiling for a Pokemon 151, like the Pokemon Center ETB? I actually think the ceiling could quite easily be in the thousands, right? I mean, you know, you think about Team Up, you think about all these other older sets that have done very well. I mean, put it this way, this is more than double the price of a Hidden Fates ETB. To put things into perspective, right, of how strong it is. This is better performing than a Shining Legends ETB. Nearly at the same level as Generations. And this is only 2 years old. It's just crazy, right? It's just absolute pure insanity. So yeah, very, very good. We got the 151 Ultra Premium Collection box. Now this one, again, has outperformed my expectations. This was everywhere. Again, you could have picked up for $120 quite comfortably every day. You could have seen on shelves. I would look at $600 for this one. Gone up 30% over the past 3 months. Over the past year, following the same trend, $157. Again, like I said, you could have picked up for $120 when it came out, and now look at it, it's $600. Pure insanity. The promos in it are fantastic. You do get a good amount of packs, but it is a sealed collector's item. I wouldn't even bother opening it. I would keep it sealed and go from there. Right? I mean, I did have a few of these. I did sell off some because I needed the room, needed the money, needed the room, and they were big and bulky. I was happy with the insane gains that they've made since I bought them. And yeah, just pure insanity, but very, very good product. Okay, so on to the actual set itself and the cards found in here. The overall value of the set is 1.2k, which is pretty decent, especially for a relatively small set. You have a lot of high value cards. Now, when I judge a set, I look at a set how many cards are over $10, $20, $30, $40, $50. And is there any cards over 100? That's usually how I would judge the strength of a set. And like I said, this is a relatively small set as well. We're not talking about a large one like Surging Sparks level, which was massive, or anything like that. Of course, we've got the Zali Boy coming in at $243. This set was very heavily printed, guys. A lot of it got opened, so I expect a lot of these cards to be on the cheaper side. But the actual fact is they're holding such good value. I mean, $240 for this Charizard. It's not my favorite, but a lot of people do like it. You got the OGs, right? Venusaur, Blastoise, all performing relatively well. Zappy Boy, my favorite card in the set, coming in at $73. But we have a lot of cards, right? Over $50. Charmander coming in at $58. You got the Squirrel, $45. Alakazam. Just such good value, right? And if we keep scrolling down, like I said, this is a small set. You got quite a lot of cards before you get to under $10. So that is a sign of a very good, solid, strong set. It really is. When we look at the individual cards and we can see the graded price of some of these. I mean, look at the Charizard, over $1,000 in a PSA 10. Crap ton of these though in a PSA 10. 24,000, very heavily graded. This card goes to show how much this card was printed. And we got here, 1.4K has slipped a little bit, but still very, very impressive. We look at the overall raw price of the Charizard, has dipped a little bit from its all-time high, but still up over the past 6 months. It was nearly $300 at one point. This is a huge card, right? Heavily graded, but still doing very, very well. We look at the Venusaur, again, looking at a pretty decent graded price at nearly $400. A lot less in a 10 than they are in 9s, but again, a very heavily printed card. It was $400 in a 10, only slipped a little bit, not too much, and up on the raw price there than where it was 6 months ago. So another example of how strong this set is, and goes to show like how much this has been printed. Like if you took cards that have been opened from each of these and compare it to any of the other sets in the Scarlet and Violet era, I just don't think they'll perform as well as 151 has performed. And we look here, right? Nearly $500 in the 10. Okay, so up down by $100 to be $400, but still very good. But up on the past 6 months, and they keep printing this. More booster bundles. No ETBs though, but more booster bundles over and over again. You had Blooming Waters as well, which was heavily produced. Over here in the UK, very different story. 151 is very expensive. We didn't get barely anything on the same level as what the US got, even when it comes to stuff like Blooming Waters and booster bundles. We just didn't get anything like that. The 151 here in the UK is very, very lucrative. A lot of the cards are worth way more over here in the UK than they are over in the US, mainly because of, like I say, the availability has been super duper tough, and it's expensive, right? It's like 17, 18 pound a pack, which is insane. It is, very, very pricey, like £100 for a booster bundle, and yeah, it's really expensive, right? And that does have an impact as well on a lot of the single cards, but still, for a small set like this, 1.2k. Honestly, and it's gonna go up, right? You're gonna wait, like I say, down the line, 2-3 years once it's done and dusted, and we're well into whatever Gen 10 will be. People will look back at 151, and a lot of the OGs will do very, very well. There you have it, guys. 151 is just a home run set. It's just incredible, right? Everything about 151 is amazing, and I think it will perform very well in the future. Right? We've already seen normal ETBs reach $400 in 2 years. We've seen the Pokemon Center ETB nearly reach $1,000 from 55 to 1,000 in 2 years. It's just unheard of. We just haven't seen that before. That level of growth is incredible. And then even the UPC, booster bundles, they've been reprinted into absolute oblivion, and even them are holding strong. And again, here in the UK, things are a lot more expensive. We didn't get that same level of reprints and restocks as the US has got. The things like Blooming Waters, booster bundles, so on and so forth, just the packs in general. Over here in the UK, it's just a lot more expensive. Pull rates are pretty good though, right? Pull rates are pretty good when it comes to 151. That's why you see so many Zards just out there, right? So many PSA 10s, so many PSA 9s, and ones that are even ungraded and not even accounted for. There is a crap ton. But the demand is there. People want these OG artworks. They are absolutely phenomenal. And even when you go to the normal illustration rares of the set, the starters, right? Bulbasaur, Squirtle, Charmander, very, very good. Pikachu as well. And like I said, it's just a home run, right? Could you imagine if we got the black belt white flare treatment and we had all illustration rares of all 151? It'd be insane. Could you imagine Gengar, for example? Yeah, exactly. Like Dragonite. So to me, it would be absolutely amazing if they did do that, but they didn't. But anyway, it's still a very, very good performing set in the past 2 years. Where do we see it go in the next, 3 to 5 years? Where do we see it? It's just going to keep going more and more expensive. The overall value of the set will start to shift upwards. And the sealed product, the sealed product's already seen insane gains. I'm not going to say we're going to see the same as we have this year in particular. Where we've seen like 400% gains on a lot of 151 product. I think it will start to slow down. But honestly, the Pokemon Center ETB, we're already looking at, that like Generations level, outperforming Shining Legends, outperforming Hidden Fates, Evolving Skies, and so on and so forth. So for me, it's just incredible, right? It could be up at that team up level, if not even more. We have to wait and see how well the 151 Pokemon Center ETV goes. But yeah, pretty impressive. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments on 151. Do you think this is the best set in the Scarlet and Violet era? Do you think it's going to perform even stronger in years to come? You like me and call it the modern day base set? I think so. I think it's very, very good. That is it from me, guys, in today's video. If you want more Pokemon content, make sure to click the video on screen. And, of course, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And, as always, thank you so much for watching. You guys are legends, and I'll see you in the next one.